Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Melissa and I'm a nursing student. So this video is going to be a super informal coffee and chat video. I actually have my morning coffee with me in one of my favorite mugs. It is my Harry Potter mug. It's a Quidditch mug and it's in yellow because I'm a Hufflepuff, which is very fitting because I'm wearing a yellow sweater and it matches. But this video is going to be an informal coffee and chat. And as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be talking all about burnout and self-care, how to take care of yourself. So I know that the term burnout has become very popular in the last, I would say 4 or 5 years. But first I want to talk about exactly what burnout is and how to know if you're experiencing burnout. So according to the World Health Organization, the term burnout can kind of be categorized by 3 different dimensions or 3 different criteria, with the first dimension being feelings of extreme exhaustion or tiredness, the second one being mental or emotional distance, and then the third one being feelings of negativism and cynicism. Now, the World Health Organization classifies burnout as a product of prolonged exposure to stressors, especially constant stressors in your environment. Now, in terms of how to determine whether you are experiencing burnout or whether you are just tired, there are some signs and symptoms that the World Health Organization does list on their website, so that if you're experiencing some of these signs and symptoms, you may be experiencing what is referred to as burnout. I know I keep mentioning the World Health Organization, or the WHO for short. I will go ahead and put a link down to where I'm getting all of this information, so that if you want to do more research on your own in regards to what burnout is and whether or not you're experiencing it, you can go ahead and check out that link in my description box. But some of the signs and symptoms that you can look for in yourself as to whether or not you're experiencing burnout, according to the World Health Organization, is just feeling drained and chronically tired, feeling emotionally numb, especially when there are events going on in your life that you really should be feeling either excited about or sad about. You just feel blank, you feel gray. That is a sign that you're experiencing burnout. Having trouble eating, having trouble sleeping, and just in general not being able to cope with everyday issues as they arise without having a breakdown. So when I was doing my research and looking all through the World Health Organization's websites, it did seem to me like their definition and classification of burnout was really centered around work environments, but you can experience burnout in literally any setting. Now, when I'm online, like on TikTok and Instagram or even YouTube, I see a lot of nurses talking about how they are burnt out on the job due to management, hospital policies. A number one thing I always see people talking about is staffing ratios, but I feel like burnout really is not talked about as much in nursing school. Well, maybe it is actually. I do see it also talked about in nursing school. But the point is, people talk about burnout as nurses because that is a work environment and that's almost expected at this point, which is very sad. But I feel like it should also be talked about in the academic setting. In fact, academic burnout in nursing school is extremely common, with over 73% of nursing students last year reported that they felt burnt out during their nursing program. Now, as for me personally, those of you guys who have seen my previous videos already know, but I am a full-time nursing student. Not only am I a full-time nursing student, but my nursing program is accelerated. So my classes are double the pace as a traditional 16-week semester. My classes are only 8 weeks. In addition to being a full-time student in an accelerated nursing program, I also work full-time. I have a 40-hour-a-week job. So I feel extremely burnt out, and I have been burnt out for a long time. I actually have a video that talks about all of the things I go through emotionally, physically, spiritually from having such a crazy schedule of working full-time and being in school full-time. I'll go ahead and link that in my description box below if you haven't seen it and you want to check out that video. So because of my schedule, I feel like for a very long time I've just been kind of numb, like emotionally numb, and just going through the motions, because I feel like that's kind of the only way that you can have a schedule like mine. I work anywhere between 85 to 95 hours a week between school and work and clinicals and commuting. And so I've kind of gotten used to just going through the motions, not thinking about my emotions, not really taking care of my body the way that I should. but recently my body forced me to pay attention to it. So I've kind of been sick pretty consistently with different things for the last month. Like 3-4 weeks ago, I came down with like a GI issue, a GI upset. And I literally, for about a week, I could not eat anything other than ginger ale, crackers, soup, and applesauce, because if I ate anything else, my stomach couldn't handle it. My body literally couldn't handle it. And I was having stomach cramps every day. It was really bad. That lasted for about a week. And then right when I started feeling better, then I developed a bacterial infection. But then that developed into a viral infection. So like a month ago, I had a GI issue. Like 3 weeks ago, I had the bacterial infection. About 2 weeks ago, that developed into a viral infection that entered my lungs. And then I ended up getting conjunctivitis, which I know is gross, but this is a channel talking about nursing school, so I figure most people watching my channel don't get grossed out very easily by health stuff. I had to be put on antibiotics, and then the antibiotics were hard on my stomach, so then I had other stomach issues, and it was just, in general, a whole mess. And then last week, I started my monthlies, my time of the month, so then I was low on iron, and I was just chronically tired, and my stomach was hurting because I was on my period, and I was taking the antibiotics, which can be harsh on the stomach. So all of that, aside from, my monthlies, which I get every month, all of that, I genuinely feel like I got so sick with different things because my immune system is weak and was just subject to different infections and different issues. And I genuinely believe that my immune system was lowered and that I was susceptible to getting sick because I have not been resting and I haven't been eating properly, and I just have not been taking care of my body the way that I know that I should be. At least that's my theory. My assumption is I got so sick because I was not taking care of myself, and that lowered my immune system. And to be honest, like a big part of the reason why I have not been taking care of myself, right? I think because I have been burnt out. I've just been feeling numb and emotionally numb, and it hasn't been as easy as I thought. And so that goes back to burnout. And so it can kind of be like this ugly cycle where when you're burnt out, you're not taking care of yourself. And then when you're not taking care of yourself, you feel bad and you feel burnt out. It's just this awful cycle that I think is really easy to get trapped into when you are in a stressful environment. But all of that is to say, when you don't take care of yourself, I feel like not only do you get into that cycle or stay in that cycle of just being burnt out and feeling depressed or emotionally numb, it also has physical consequences. So if, like for me, my immune system was weakened and I was sick for literally a month, it can cause fatigue. You just kind of want to stay in bed all day when you have a lot to do, especially if you're a student. It can cause weight gain, which once you gain weight, that opens you up to so many other health issues. So I feel like the best thing you can do for yourself, in general, but especially if you are in a stressful environment at work or if you are a student, I know most of the people watching my channel are students or prospective students. The best thing you can do if you are in a stressful environment with a busy schedule is to practice self-care. So now I'm going to get into the self-care portion of this video, which will hopefully be less depressing. I feel like self-care in our society, especially when you're going onto platforms like YouTube or Instagram or TikTok, whenever people are talking about self-care, I feel like they are saying to like go get a massage or go get your nails done or go to dinner or go shopping or to buy yourself like certain like nice scented lotions and fragrances and stuff like that. And I agree that that is self-care because they're things that you acquire to make yourself maybe feel good about yourself. And I'm a big proponent of if you look good, you feel good. But everything that I just mentioned, whether it's like getting your nails done or getting a massage, going out and buying something, all of those things either cost a significant amount of money, they require a decent amount of time because those of you guys that will get your nails done, it takes at least an hour to go to the salon and sit and get your nails done. So all of those things either cost money or they require time or both. And I know most people don't have those resources. Not everybody has $100 that they can go blow on a massage. And not everybody, even if they have $100 that they can spend on a massage, not everybody has an hour or an hour and a half that they can take out of their week to go do something for themselves, like get a massage. And so I know if you are a student, if you don't have a job or you're working part-time, you may not have a lot of money. If you have kids, to take an hour or two out of your day to go spend $50 to $60 to get your nails done, it's not practical. And not only are those things not practical for a lot of us, but they're not necessary. They're honestly not necessary to practice self-care on yourself. Self-care is literally just taking time to take care of yourself and doing things that can promote your quality of life, emotionally, physically, mentally. So yes, getting your nails done or getting a massage, those are forms of self-care, but you don't have to spend money or even a lot of time to take care of yourself. In fact, everything I'm going to list in this next part of the video are going to be ways that you can practice self-care without spending money or without taking up too much time out of your day or your week. So when it comes to ways that you can practice self-care or take care of yourself, my number one and absolute favorite thing is to exercise regularly. You don't have to get a gym membership or join some class or do a subscription to exercise. If it's not too cold outside or if the weather is good, you can go outside and go for a short walk. You can go for a daily jog. If your schedule is insane, trust me, I know insane schedules because I work over 80 hours a week. Literally just jogging in place maybe once an hour or a couple of hours, like once every couple of hours throughout your day, that is a form of exercise. Even stretching after you get into bed. Don't let anybody tell you that that's not exercise. That is good for your body. Practicing your flexibility, making sure that you stay limber. Literally, as you get into bed, just take 10 minutes, put on a timer and stretch. That is a form of exercise. That is a form of self-care, and that is free. And if you do actually have time to work out and maybe the weather's not nice outside or you just don't feel comfortable working out outside, you don't want to get a gym membership, go on YouTube. You can pull up your phone or your laptop and there are free videos on Zumba. There are free Pilates videos. I see Pilates now as like the new thing that all the girlies are into. And I see it on TikTok. People are going to these classes where there are reformers and they're paying like $60 to $100 per class. Some people are maybe like $150 per month to have a membership to a Pilates studio. Traditionally, both Pilates and yoga, but both of them, all that you need is your body. You don't need the reformer. You don't need all of these special tools. You don't need to spend money to go to somebody's studio and do these things. While those are nice, you can do them at home in your living room for free. And there's so many like amazing creators that do full classes or 5-minute clips if you don't have time, where they teach you certain yoga poses and Pilates moves, certified instructors that you can have access to for free on like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. So you can be doing a class online that's probably worth $100 per month at a studio. You can do that for free in your living room. The next form of self-care is so simple, but I feel like it's one of the first things people throw out the window when they're stressed. I know I do. But the next thing is just to eat well. And the biggest thing with eating well, I feel like, is hydrating. Make sure that you are drinking water. Make sure that you are consuming liquids. It's good to stay hydrated for your health. That's probably the best way that you can take care of your body. Hydrating and exercising, but mainly hydrating. So eating well includes staying hydrated. Don't be drinking too much caffeine. Maybe limit your caffeine intake. Especially with the people in my cohort, pretty much all nurses and nursing students that I know seem to be addicted to coffee. I am drinking coffee. I don't drink coffee every day, but I do enjoy coffee. But coffee is not a substitute for sleep. So I always think it's a good idea to limit your caffeine intake. I'm not a fan of energy drinks. I don't drink energy drinks. I don't recommend them, but I understand people still like to consume them. My advice to take care of yourself, if you have to drink energy drinks, is to limit your intake of energy drinks, limit your intake of coffee and caffeine, maybe try a decaffeinated tea and sleep instead so you won't need as much caffeine. Also, when it comes to eating well, try to eat whole foods. I know better than anybody, it's so easy for me to stop at Dunkin' Donuts in the morning before going to work, or between going to work and going to school. I don't have time to stop at home. It's very tempting to just get fast food on my way to school. While that's a quick fix and it may feel good emotionally and just like you just need fast food, it's a lot better for you to eat whole foods. So pack yourself a salad, a spinach salad, steam some broccoli or steam some vegetables. Carrots are a good one, they're really good for you. Steam food, pack it for you to take to work so that you're eating clean, whole foods instead of grabbing chips or grabbing fast food. That's an amazing way you can take care of your body, and you will feel better physically over time because of it. So the next way that you can practice self-care that does not cost a thing is to regularly practice gratitude. So for me, I pray, but you don't have to be religious or even spiritual to take a few moments out of your day and just to practice gratitude and to reflect on all of the positive things that you have in your life. You know, I'm of the belief that we all have things that we can complain about. Some of us have more things than others, for sure. But I think that it's helpful to take just a couple minutes out of each day. I like to do twice a day, once in the morning when I wake up and then once before I go to bed. And you can pray if you're religious. If you're not religious or spiritual, just maybe 1 to 3 things that you can think of that you are thankful for either in your life or in that day. For some people, you may say the exact same things every single day. Maybe it's your significant other, maybe it's your children, maybe it's the fact that you have a roof over your head. Even if those are the only 3 things that you have, or even if there's just one thing you have and every single day you're thankful for that, taking a minute or 2 every day to think about the fact that you have that and to appreciate it, I think does more than you may think it would do for burnout. Especially since burnout, one of the signs and symptoms of burnout is feeling emotionally numb. I feel like practicing gratitude is a good way to try to get your mind out of that headspace. So the next way that you can practice self-care, also free, is to mentally escape a little bit each week. So whether that for you is going on a walk and just being out in nature, I think for a lot of us, unfortunately, that involves mindlessly scrolling on our phones on TikTok. I feel like I've mentioned TikTok like 3-4 times in this video, but to either like mindlessly scroll on your phone on social media, to go on YouTube, maybe there's a show that you can get into, and just like for 30 minutes to an hour every week, you can just fully submerge yourself into this show, or to pick up a book and just maybe an hour a week or even less than that, just completely disassociate from your life and to just fully submerge yourself into some form of media or a book. And I feel like you do probably have to be careful with this one, because this is one of those things that I think is only good in moderation. I think it's healthy to an extent to just scroll on your phone or to watch TV and to completely disassociate for a little bit if you're able to. But this should not be used as a method of complete self-soothing, because I feel like then you can kind of get into this weird territory where you're more present on your phone or on TV or in this fantasy world than you are in real life. So I think it's healthy to do like sporadically every once in a while, definitely not all the time. And then the last way that I have for you to practice self-care and to take care of yourself at no cost is very simple, and that is to be kind to yourself and to give yourself grace. So if you are watching this video, I can assume that if you clicked on this video, you are stressed, you may be feeling overwhelmed, you may be feeling burnt out. So my advice, or a way that I think is really good to practice self-care on a daily basis, is to just be kind to yourself, give yourself some leniency. Maybe if you have a lot of things going on in life and maybe you feel like you're kind of failing at one aspect of your life or in multiple aspects of your life, just remind yourself in your head and out loud, verbalize it. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing the best that I can. I'm doing a good job. And that's kind of all that you need to do. I know that it sounds cheesy, like essentially, I guess it's an affirmation. You can also look in the mirror and repeat this mantra to yourself. I'm doing the best I can, and that's all that I can do. That's the best I can do. As cheesy as it is, I'll agree, I feel like it's better than the alternative of silently chastising yourself and calling yourself a failure and focusing on maybe if you are forgetting certain things at home or forgetting things at school, instead of focusing on those bad things and feeling bad about yourself, verbalize that you are a good person, you're doing the best that you can, you have a lot going on, and you should just be kind to yourself. And I feel like even if it feels cheesy at first, over time, I do think that it kind of starts to reframe your mindset and starts to just kind of make your inner thoughts be kinder to yourself. So that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end and you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have something that you'd like to add, or maybe a way that you like to practice self-care. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.